Happy Thursday, thankful Thursday. Good morning to all of our Youth Solutions family. My name is Molly Waller, and I am the Executive Director for Youth Solutions. We are a statewide nonprofit that works to inspire and connect youth to achieve a future beyond their imaginations. You may know that this week, October 17th through 21st, 2022, is Careers in Energy Week. That means it's a week where we talk and experience and learn more about the vast number of careers available in the energy sector here in our great state of Michigan. Because it's Careers in Energy Week, we've decided to focus this particular Coffee with a Purpose on the energy sector. And I'm very honored to have as my co-moderator today, Roger Curtis, Vice President of Public Affairs at Consumers Energy. Also joining us are our Jobs for Michigan's graduates and some Jobs for Michigan's graduates' current youth. Our panelists, Lewis Williams, Seth Wilson, Edrice Taylor, and Zubari Spencer. You'll be hearing from them soon, and they really are the stars of our day. With Careers in Energy Week here in Michigan, this is a great way for us to highlight our youth who have chosen this field or are considering exploring this field as their career. Our panelists have a variety of expertise and experiences, including summer programs, full-time work at energy companies, and even starting their own business. Michigan.gov says that Michigan was ranked as the #1 state for growth in the field of energy, adding over 35,000 jobs between 2020 and 2021. Currently, the industry accounts for over 100,000 jobs in our state, and the demand is looking to increase by 9% through 2024. That means in the next 2 years, 9,000 more jobs will be available. It really shows that it is a high demand industry, not only here in Michigan, but worldwide. IRENA, their International Renewable Energy Agency, predicts the number of jobs in the entire energy industry is on a path for 100 million jobs worldwide by 2050. That certainly is partially contributed to the switch over from gas to electric powered vehicles, the growth in solar, the growth in natural gas, and all the various sources of energy that we use here in the US and abroad. There is a vital need for the non-traditional energy careers. There will always be a need for the traditional energy careers, but there is growth, especially for youth in STEM subjects, science, technology, engineering, and math. And if you want to add the STEAM, you can call it agriculture or art, either one works. Who knows? We could be at the forefront of a world-changing idea or invention by encouraging our youth to head into the energy field. Now I'd like to have my co-moderator, Roger Curtis, talk a little bit about, introduce himself and talk a little bit about Consumers Energy and his role. Roger has been providing connections, expertise, and innovative solutions for a very long time. But I think what's most notable is Roger is a champion of youth, a champion of their careers, and a champion of programs like Jobs for Michigan's graduates that help youth understand the variety of careers available and what it takes to attain these careers. We're all about family sustaining wages. Roger is a true champion of all of us. So Roger, good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I've been waiting forever to be a co-moderator with you. So it's like Regis and Kathy Lee. So, or I guess Ryan Seacrest and Kathy Lee. So anyways, I'm excited. This is great. As you noted, I love Jobs for Michigan graduates. I love all the work. One of my favorite things that I get to do as part of JMG is something like this, though, and that's engaging with the youth. And we've got some great folks here today. They're going to talk about their careers and where they're at, or their pathways and where they're at while they're still in school. So this is, you mentioned, this ever-changing world with energy, and we're going to get a little bit more into that, but I'm sure our panelists are going to be able to share some of that as well. So let's get into introducing them real quick. This is going to be awesome. First, we have Lewis Williams. He is a JMG alumnus and 2019 JMG Alumnus of the Year from Cody High School, who since completing school in 2017 has worked for DTE as a maintenance fitter apprentice in gas line operations. So welcome, Lewis. Nice to have you. I see you're out on the job site, and so stay safe while you're visiting with us. Next, we have Seth Wilson, a former JMG youth from our networks Northwest. program. He is currently an electrical apprentice with Atkin Electric. He also owns his own business, Wilson Works. So welcome, Seth. We're excited to hear a little bit more about your journey. We also have two current JMG youth with us today. Ed Reese Taylor is a sophomore and member of the National Honor Society at Hamadeh Middle and High School. And we also have Zubari Spencer, a junior at Hamadeh Middle High School. Both of these current JMG youth recently participated in the Consumer Energy Summer Youth Academy. I thank you both for joining that. And I thank all of you for being here to engage us with this conversation today. We have a lot of attendees joining us for Coffee with a Purpose. I know you're eager to listen and learn and hear from our panelists, and we appreciate this opportunity to share their stories with you. So for audience members who wish to ask a question of our panelists, please use the chat function, as we will be monitoring it throughout the session. And we reserve plenty of time at the end for the panel to answer some of the questions from the audience. So don't be bashful, get those questions in the chat and we'll get to them. So this morning, we will be hearing a little bit about each of our panelists and their personal experience and stories to help us get to know them and their journeys into the world of energy. So we're going to go through each one of them. To start with, I'd like to ask each of you to please tell us a little bit about yourselves. And we're going to start with Zubari.
I started off pretty young with the direct mindset. So I was always one to be dedicated to my work and dedicated to whatever I do. So at the age of 10 years old, I started working construction with my father, and like ever since I've been working since, and I've been working up to better opportunities and better goals. And when I got in that program, it opened me up to a lot more, because before that program, I had a dream of being an architect and like just changing my community around, because I didn't like the way I was growing up and I wanted to change it. If you gonna complain about something, at least try and put something back into it. That's how I always felt. So when I saw all the different opportunities in consumers, it just opened me up to a lot, and I seen it and I was like, that's what I want. So that's what I'm gonna fight for. And ever since, I've been on that type of mindset.
Zubari, that is great. I love your passion. I love that you took a stand, said, I don't like what I see, and I'm going to be a force of change. I'm going to do something about it. And, you know, no one person can maybe change everything, but cumulatively, all of us together can do something. And I appreciate you having that attitude. Thank you very much, Zubari. So let's go to Ed Reese. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
My name is Reese. I'm 15 years old. My life, I'm a hard, good worker. So I like jobs. So I don't like to be boring. And when I work, it's fun to me because I like to find jobs that keep me occupied. In my whole life, I've been working for my grandpa. He teach me how to fix bikes, ride lawnmowers, snow blow. He told me all the hard ways to make money, my own good money. And I'm just proud to be here in my life and know everything I got.
Wow. I love the drive, Roger. Two young folks that, wow, this is cool.
Me too. Thanks for sharing, Ed Reese. I appreciate that. All right, let's go to Lewis now.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Lewis Williams. Graduated from Cody High School in 2017. I was part of the Power and Trades Pathway program, and I work for DT. I am a maintenance fitter apprentice. I'm part of the renewal program. We're renewing gas lines all over Michigan. that's pretty much about it.
Well, given the temperature today, Louis, that's a very critical job for all of us. So thank you for helping keep us warm today. That's awesome. All right, Seth.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. My name's Seth Wilson. I'm an electrical apprentice. I just started my second year. Main reason I got into it is when I went to CTC over in Wexford County. My CTC instructor told me, because I wanted to be a framer and I was going to generalize in contracting and just be a GC. Doesn't take as long, but for me, specializing is a lot more for the outcome. Like I have my own business on the side. I do handyman work and things like that. But in today's day and age, you should definitely specialize in what you're doing. So like the guy who works for DTE, he's specializing in maintenance pipe fitting, I think is what he said. Like that's really smart because that's something that, like if you have someone that can do like a general construction job, that's easy to find. But if you can find someone that specializes in one thing, that's where the payout is. And it's not all about money, but we all do want to be successful at the end of the day. So that's the main reason I got into electrical, is because, I mean, the payout's there, but there's a lot of people. For every 1,000 coming in, there's 10,000 going out. And the average age for a master electrician is 59 and a half in the state of Michigan.
Yeah.
So if you can get that license, it takes 4 years. I thought, well, I can go to college for 4 years, or I can go work for 4 years, make money, not have any debt, anything like that. So my advice would definitely be get into the electrical field, because with the way solar's going, anything like that, solar, you have to have generators, all that. Anything like that, especially any trade work, really. It's not even just about energy, but energy is a huge one because the world can't run without it. So that's why I got into this field.
Seth, I'm so glad. Everything you said, very, very important. And I really appreciate bringing up the different pathways that you could have chosen and why you chose yours, because there are so many different ways. And I think a lot of times we assume that everything requires a 4-year degree, and it doesn't. Associate's degrees, certificates, licenses, apprenticeships, all those are very viable pathways to a great career. And so I'm really glad you shared that, and very, very good feedback. Thanks, Seth. So,
yep.
And thanks to all of you. I really appreciate you sharing the different pathways that you're on and where you're going, and all of it very important to the energy sector, because you're probably starting to pick up a theme here. The energy sector is in a big transformation right now. And as we move to clean energy and new technologies come in, so a lot of opportunities there. Now, I'd like to take some time to ask each of you some questions directly, but I want all of you to feel free to chime in as well. Just because I asked one person a question, I would love for all of you, if you have something to say, jump in as well. So we call this the free-for-all section of the questioning. So first of all, I would like to ask the whole panel, what first sparked your interest in a career and possible future in the energy industry versus any other industry? And we'll start with Seth.
Sorry, my connection's horrible. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. So my main reason for getting into because I'm a residential electrician, commercial, industrial as well. But the main reason that I got into residential electricity is because 4 years I'll have my journeyman's card, and I can pretty much, if I want to move out of state, I can apply for an out-of-state license. If I want to join the union, I can work nationwide. If I want to go over, because I plan on moving to Florida in my 30s. So I can apply for an out-of-state license, and I can still be making the same amount of money being an electrical contractor, versus if you become a general contractor in Michigan, you have to test out in each other state. You can't just apply for a license. But the biggest thing for me, like I was talking about earlier, is specialization. Because I'm guaranteeing everybody in here has a roof over their head, and that roof has lights in it. And who do you call when the lights go out? An electrician. It's just like if all the gas pumps were to shut down today, nobody would be able to get to work because they don't have gas for their vehicle. So if you're not able to charge your phone, cook your dinner, anything like that, and don't have any electricity, there will always be a need for it. It's pretty much recession proof. And that was my main reason on getting into it. Is I wanted to get into a job where I would never get laid off.
Mm.
Consistent work, because consistency is what builds success, I believe.
Well said, Seth. That's awesome. Recession proof. Everyone always needs heat and electricity. So well said. Lewis, how about you?
I had got into the gas industry. I'm gonna have to be honest. I didn't really know what I was gonna do after high school. My JMG specialist kind of pushed me towards it, opened me up to the idea, and since I've been a part of it, it has it's been a great learning experience. I learn something new every day, something different in the field every day. But just like Seth was saying, it is always needed. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is. It's always needed. And Lewis is from Cody High School. His specialist is Carolyn Miller, one of the rock star specialists. And I know she and Lewis have a very strong bond. And Carolyn really thought that this might be of interest. And Lewis actually got to go to Washington, D.C. and be part of the National Student Leadership Academy, which was a wonderful moment and something that we're proud that we can offer to some of our youth in the program.
Very cool. Thanks, Lewis. Let's hear from Zubari.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, sure can. Excuse me. What first sparked your interest in possibly pursuing a career in the energy industry?
Well, like I said, I started work very young, so I was always the one to not necessarily grow up faster, but just have goals before I can have meaning to, like, I searched for my purpose at a younger age so that when I get to this age, I'm not confused on, dang, it's my last year. I got 12th grade next year. What am I gonna do after that? I already have that planned out, and consumers there's nothing you can go wrong with that, because it's literally so many jobs in consumers. And it's not just because every time I say I want to work for consumers, people assume, oh, you want to be a line worker. No, it's so much inside the industry, and I learned so much from it. And that's what I like. Me, I never been the one that's just one talented person. Like I got multiple talents. Like I did construction with my pops. I know how to plumb. I know how to do all that stuff. I grew up from a big family. I got 8 brothers and sisters. I'm the youngest one to have a job first. Like I was the first one to have a job in my household. And my oldest brother is 21 now, and he works in consumers now. And yeah, like consumers, it really inspired me to like push myself, because right now I'm in a life situation where I have neither my pops or my mom's. I'm basically on my own. And what he said everybody have a roof over their head right now. Not me at the time, but me with my mindset, it won't be long before I get there, because nothing really can tear me down. That's one thing that never really, like, I never lost. Like, I ain't lost a lot of love. I ain't lost a lot of people, but I always kept the same energy and the same mindset. And I feel like that's what makes me stronger. And that's what gives me my purpose, because I know what I'm going to do, and I know there's nothing in this world that can stop me. So yes.
Thank you for sharing. And thanks for sharing your personal feelings as much as you did. That's great, Zubari. Really love that. Thank you. Ed Reese, what got you interested in going to the Consumers Energy Summer Youth Academy?
Actually, I never knew anything about consumers, but with my JMG specialist, like she told me about all the jobs and careers you can have in consumers energy. That kind of sparked me. And when she said there was a summer youth program, I said yes, I would like to sign up because this could be more experience for me in order to what I just had. And the people that worked at the youth academy, like Mr. Steven and what's her? I forgot the other girl name. I'm sorry, but they helped me realize that there's more jobs that I can do inside consumer energy because I like to build stuff and everything. So I'm thinking mechanical engineering because that I can like help people do other things. So that's what sparked my first interest, and I would have ever been doing it if it wasn't my specialist.
That's great. Yay. Well said, Ed Reese. Thank you very much. All right, let's go on to our next question. This one is for Lewis, but again, if any of you would like to chime in when Lewis is done, please feel free to. Lewis, you went to straight out of school to working for DTE. How much has the industry changed in the few years that you've been working at DTE? What kind of changes have you seen?
I'll say a lot. Like I said, I'm part of the renewable program, and we're renewing services all over. So the goal is to kill all the old stuff, which is the cast iron, and get rid of the steel and convert over to plastic. So I'll say that's basically what I've been seeing over the last few years. Just converting everything over to plastic, just renewing everything over all over Michigan.
You know what? Just to add on, what Lewis is doing is really critical work because those replacement of those old pipes is reducing the amount of methane that's escaping into the atmosphere and helping climate change. So not only is Lewis helping keep people warm, but he's helping prevent climate change. So thank you, Lewis, for everything that you're doing. Really appreciate that. All right, Seth, I got a question for you. What made you want to own your own business during your time as an apprentice?
Okay, so this one is kind of on this, but like I've worked for a lot of contractors since I started working construction when I was probably 13, started roofing, cleanup crew guy, young guy. Anyway, so I've worked for a lot of contractors over the last 6 years, and the most common problem I run into with their employees and them is pay is a huge one. Benefits is another. And the way that I look at it is I want to change people's life for the better, if that makes sense. And if I can provide for myself, then I have to take on the responsibility of providing for someone else. And that's what I want to do with this my whole goal in owning for themselves, because the company I work for, I'm not provided for. I get by, you know what I mean? And I don't think that's fair because any working man, especially the other panelists in this, like they know how it is out there. Like it ain't easy stuff. And that's what a lot of people won't tell you is it's not easy. But that's the best thing is like we're the type of people, everyone that's in here talking right now, we're the type of people that will go do the things that nobody wants to do, but they have to be done. And I don't even know the guys in here, and that's why I got so much respect for them, because these are like guys that I would want to work for me. You know what I mean? Because they know how it is. And that's why guys like us should be taken care of. And that's my goal with my business. It's not money for me. It's never been money for me. It's if someone's going to provide a service for me, I'm going to provide a benefit for them. And that was my whole goal with having my own business.
That's great, Seth. Well said. Good job. All right, Zubari and Ed Reese, question for both of you. You can determine which one goes first. You both mentioned you were part of the Consumers Energy Summer Youth Academy. Could you tell us a little bit about the program, and would you suggest others apply for the program?
The program, like I said, it started off where like we was told about the program, but in my mind, I'm thinking consumers energy and I'm thinking just certain fields. No, we went to the program and they took us on a field trip. They took us to the actual building, the consumer energy building. And they showed us all the different work tactics and what they work on and how they save different, like the different stuff. And it was amazing. Like I'm telling you, like it blew my mind just looking at half the stuff that was in there. And I was like, we really like, because it's crazy because from a kid, you get told, oh, a firefighter, a police officer, doctor, nurse, whatnot. But you don't, like, people like this don't never get recognized for real. And they do so much for us. Like half the stuff that we built into today's empire, like came from consumers or energy, period. And I feel like that's a big part of what we need to work on. So the more people get into this type of field will be great, because this is the stepping stone on the ground that we're going to build around our kids, the next generation. So like as soon as I heard about the program, I told anybody I could, I was like, hey, look, first off, look, I already had them. I was like, we making $15 an hour just to learn. Yeah, look, you in school doing it for free. We getting paid for it. So if you want to learn something that's going to benefit you in life and get paid for it, go ahead and get in this program, because that's what this is. And me, I'm very, like, I could talk to people. I could talk to any age group, really, because I grew up around older people and I grew up like a old-fashioned way. So like when I talk to people, they understand what I'm saying, and I can talk to any group of people, to be honest. And like I feel like, man, reaching out to people and letting them know about this type of stuff would be like great. And I suggest it to anybody that's trying to open their mind up to new opportunities. Yeah, even if you got a set goal already, just explore so you know what's out in this world. Because that's what I had. Like I was so set on being an architect. I studied for it. I looked at the different jobs of what you can do and what architects do and whatnot. And then I came here and I'm like, there's so much more out in this world, and we only get the half of it. So you just got to open your mind up some more. And that's what I constantly tell people to this day.
Wow. Roger, I think you have an ambassador in Zubari.
I know. We're going to talk about all the different careers at Consumers Energy, but don't forget public affairs. So maybe Zubari can join us in communications. Ed Reese, why did you choose to go to the academy, and what did you think of it?
I think like it helped me have more experience that I never thought I would have. Like when I was young, I heard of being a police officer, firefighter, or being like a specialist, anything. But when I was young, nobody ever told me about consumers energy. And now that I'm older and I got to that youth academy, it helped me understand that there's more things in life that you could ever understand. And when we had took the field trip to the Consumers Energy building, I was amazed because they showed us how to make pipes, how they weld them together, and how the machines all work. And then we showed us how to use compressed air and gas pipelines. Like, if I would never went to this consumers energy program, I would not have been more experienced in my life because they showed me so much that I never knew I was.
Pretty special.
Yeah, it is. You
I
know,
had,
and I just, go ahead,
I-
Jabari.
I add to that. Another thing I noticed with consumers is it's more like a family bond type thing. I've seen all the workers, and me, I usually can tell when like people is getting forced to act right. So like it was just so good. Like the connection with everybody, like the workers was getting along. They talking like they know each other kids and everything. Like it was amazing. And me, I love family. Like family is everything to me. That's what I build my grounds on. That's what I build. That's my protection. I protect my family. So if I can work in a field that I can feel welcome in family, like that would be so amazing. Like you don't never have to work if you're doing something that you love. And I really appreciate that.
Wow.
Can I
Well
pick up
said.
again?
Yeah, of course, Idris.
After he said all that, that reminded me like this is a good energy force to like help me move out of Michigan. Like my goal is to move me and my family out of Michigan and go to somewhere place nice. Because here, yeah, we have jobs, we have experience, all that, but I want my family and me to like get out and experience more things that we never know, that we never thought we would. And with that, like I could become a mechanical engineer, and I can learn more things that can move out of state to do more jobs with the mechanical engineer. And I can help my family move out and we can start over, a fresh new start.
Profound. So Roger, you've been in the energy field for quite a while, and I'd love to see if you can share with us, what do you see happening in the workforce? Jabari's mentioned that there's a range of careers. What do you see for the future of energy?
Well, you've already heard the theme here today from all the panelists who've joined us. I mean, at Consumers Energy, we're probably leading the nation in that transformation, shutting down our coal plants, moving to wind, moving to solar, battery storage, introducing new technologies into the grid to make it more reliable. It's incredible. It is definitely not old school. The energy field is changing. And there's so many opportunities as we go cleaner and greener, and even, you know, what Lewis does. There will always be a need for folks like Lewis. There will always be a need for line workers. But when you think about what's happening with solar panels, with wind, with battery, electric vehicles, think about the role electric vehicles are going to change how the grid needs to provide energy, and when are you charging your EVs? So all that's going to lead to a whole host of new opportunities with coders, software engineers, technicians, data analysts. Data is huge for us. Statistics, research. Yes, engineers like Ed Reese. We're always going to need mechanical and electrical engineers, but we also need a lot of technicians. So if you're so inclined to go get a 4-year degree, great. There'll be opportunities. If you want to go to get a 2-year degree, associates, if you want to start with certifications or licenses as coding or data analyst, and then maybe continue on as you go through your career, go back and get other certificates or licenses. You certainly can do that. The apprenticeship program with our gas workers and our line workers, both at Consumers and DTE, great opportunity. As you go through that apprenticeship program and move on, you're talking, you know, 6 figures with line workers and gas workers in time. So just a tremendous amount of opportunity. And each one of the panelists mentioned it. Their eyes were opened when they came. They thought, didn't really know all the opportunities in energy and at consumers. And now, I mean, look at everything that's going to be happening. So, boy, and even public affairs, like I said, you know, we need marketers, we need communicators, we need a little bit of everything.
Yes, yes, we absolutely do. And so, Roger, I know that you have a tight time frame. Are you able to stay with us, or?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to have to jump. As I
Okay.
mentioned, the energy field is ever changing, and my role changed last night
Okay,
to help with some things. But
okay,
I do want to thank everyone. Thank you for allowing me to host for a little bit this morning. I want to thank all of our panelists. I am leaving incredibly inspired by each one of you. Each one of you has an amazing story. Made me feel so good about the future of Michigan, except Ed Reese wants to move out of Michigan. So, but
we'll try and keep, we'll try and show them
we'll
other
try and
places
keep
that are cool.
that's right.
Yeah.
But thank you, Louis, Seth, Zubari, Ed Reese. Thank you for sharing your stories. They're very meaningful, very powerful, and I'm inspired. I'm going to go have a great day thanks to you four. So, Molly, thanks for having me.
Yep.
Enjoy the rest of the Coffee with a Purpose.
Great. We will keep moving
Thank you.
forward.
Thanks, Roger.
Thank you.
Thank you as well.
All right. So I know that we've been getting some awesome audience questions, and I want to make sure we get to that. So one of them actually is similar to something that I wanted to ask. So this is for Idris and Zubari. What does your future career path look like? What are you thinking? And what would you tell younger folks that aren't quite sure of what they want to do? Zubari, let's start with you.
Me, like I said, I see myself in the energy industry, period. Like, I definitely want to get into that. And I talked, like, when we had mock interviews, I talked to one of the, I believe, gas line, I believe he was a gas worker or something like that. He did something with the pipes. And he told me that I didn't really need college. Like, I could get hired in at 18. And like, when I heard that, like me, I'm more of a worker type person. I never been really stuck to the books. Like, I'm very intelligent, but like, I don't really like the schooling and whatnot. So I was always ready to work. And honestly, like, what I would tell somebody else is like, just fight. Like, you gotta fight anything you do. It's not just energy. You gotta fight for anything you want. Like, you can't really let too much hold you back. The more excuses you give yourself, that's just pushing you further and further away from your goal. So I would say just keep a steady focus.
Okay.
Try to get schooling done, at least graduate high school, and just try to have a set goal and, man, like a direct mindset. Because not a lot of people can stay on that one track mindset, or nobody can, like, not a lot of people can just have their goals and just jump straight into it. They always want to take that extra break here, or, oh, I'm gonna do it when this time comes. No, this is your life. You gotta push forward as much as you can, because the more you push right now, the easier it's gonna get throughout the years. You can settle down and do all that stuff then. That's how I feel about everything. And yeah, that's what
You are
I tell.
wise beyond your years, Zubari.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And Idris, do you know which area you're interested in yet, or are you still trying to gain more experiences and decide?
I was laughing because he said mostly the stuff I was going to say.
Okay.
But when I was at the summer youth program, they told me that I could be an architect, I can be a mechanical engineer. That's what I'm really going for, because I like to build, or I could be a lineman because I love to climb things. And when I'm a lineman, I can climb to the top of the pole, change the wires and everything like that. But I would tell the youth, be what you want to be, because nobody can tell you that you can't be something. If you want to be, if you want to be a architecture, you can be architecture. If you want to be a mechanical engineer, you can. Go what you want to go for it. Your goal is your goal. And every time you want to say, no, I don't know about it, you're pushing yourself back away from what you're trying to go for. And that's what I'm getting at.
You two are wise beyond your years. That's great. So Lewis, one question that came in from the group was, what's a typical day for Lewis?
See, I work a lot. You have sometimes you'll be out in the field, you get gas emergencies, people call in for gas leaks. So a typical day for me could be a long day. I don't work 24 hours, 36. You know what I'm saying? So it is, and yeah, I don't know. That's probably my typical day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there are some definite long hours.
Yeah.
There's definitely environmental, cold weather, hot weather, rain, snow.
Yes, it is. The wintertime, the worst time.
Okay.
I say
Right.
that.
Yeah, you're trying to replace pipes that are under frozen ground. That's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely tough.
Yeah. That's how my day goes every day, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Seth, we'd love to hear from you too. What is a typical day for you right now?
Good.
Yeah, we can kind of hear you.
So can you, my service is so bad right now. Can you hear me
That's okay.
now?
Yes.
Okay, good. A typical day for me, like right now I'm about to get out of the work.
Well, looks like Seth's connection is a little inconsistent, so that's okay. We will come back. Yeah, Seth, it's very robotic. If you want to try and reestablish that might work. But that's okay. We have tons more questions. Okay. One of our folks from the audience said, I noticed Lewis works in the gas part of the energy industry and Seth works in electric. Are there certain parts of the industry that appeal to Idris and Zubari? And I know that Idris, you shared you're thinking more about the mechanical engineering part. And Zubari, you want to be out there in the field, hands-on. Those are a couple of things. When you were going through the academy, what was it that inspired you to say, this is why I think this is what I believe this can get. This is the satisfaction I can feel in this chosen career.
When I was at the summer youth program, Mr. Steven was watching a video, and we was watching something about a mechanical engineer.
Oh,
And in this video, I was really paying attention, and he played many other videos, but the only one that really caught my eye was the mechanical engineer.
Mhm.
He showed me the things they can do inside the force and everything they can do on the field.
Okay.
So that's why I wanted to be a mechanical engineer.
Okay. Okay. Idris, anything you want to add? Oh, I'm sorry, Zubari. My bad.
Yeah, it's okay. For me, like I said, I always been the working type, and I want to work on something that I know that I will enjoy. Because going to people's houses, like checking, like even if I do get into that field to where like I'm checking their pipes or like checking if they have a leak or gas or anything like that. I just want to be able to get out there and let my community see me. Let them see that I'm trying to make better for everybody else and everybody around me. See, I grew up where around my area it was only two choices for real. So they made it seem. And I never accepted that. I never stooped down to that level. So I was always the one that was like, that's what you say, but the world is telling me different. The world is telling me I have a bigger purpose. So I'm going to fight for that bigger purpose. Rather, I got to start all the way from the bottom, all the way in the dirt to reaching the skyscraper. I definitely will do it because I have the heart for it and I have the faith for it. Me, I'm a young man of my word, and everything I set myself out to do, I definitely complete. So I'm definitely gonna get into that field, and I'm definitely gonna try out different parts of that field, and I'm gonna try to explore as much as I can and just open more opportunities for myself.
You are a huge inspiration. I've seen some chatter behind the scenes, and a lot of people are saying how inspiring all of you young men are, me included. I wish I had the conviction at your age. It's really you guys are just, you're making me speechless, and that's very hard to do. So Lewis, talk to me about where you're at right now with your career, and what does your future look like? Where are you on your way to becoming a journeyman, and then what happens from there?
Well, right now I am a apprentice. I have 4 years in the company. My 5th year, I'll be just a full-fledged fitter, pipe fitter. I'll be also topping out as well. Yeah, I just believe that as the years progress, I pick up more experience and just keep progressing. That's about it.
Okay. Yep, and DTE has given you some wonderful opportunities through the Pathways program, and I think that's one wonderful thing I love about the energy industry and a lot of other industries is more and more they're starting to see we have to focus on the long-term talent pipeline. In Michigan, people are leaving our state. Our state has an older average age versus other states. Our state is behind on educational metrics, and focusing on our long-term talent pipeline is exactly what we need to do and exactly why Jobs for Michigan's Graduates program exists. So it's really wonderful to hear from all of you and hear your stories. Okay, I'm back in looking at the questions. Oh, someone who does not want to share their name, which is absolutely fine. I think this might be a young person. They want to get into the energy industry. What do you recommend they do as their first step? And this can be for Lewis or Zubari or Idris, and I think Seth is still having tech issues.
Me personally, I would suggest that you just gotta focus your mind. Like I said, you gotta know what you want. So if you think you want to get in the energy industry, look it up, see what types of parts that interest you most, and write it down, jot it down, and just try to talk to more people in that field. Try to get as much experience as you can, just going along, because that's one thing I learned. You can learn knowledge from anyone. I talked to a homeless man about a few months ago, and he told me an amazing story, and it changed the way I look at people. So you just gotta look around and see the different opportunities. If you just apply yourself more, it'll come easier, I promise. Just look it up, try to research the different jobs in the energy industry and see what interests you most and stick to it.
I agree with Zubari.
Okay. Lewis, anything you'd add?
I'll say exactly what he was saying, but like I said before, I didn't know what I was going to do. I actually didn't know how important the energy field was before me even starting
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Starting at DTE until I actually start doing the things myself. It is a very important job. Very important, always needed. So I most definitely, I would say people should most definitely give it a try. You know, I gave it a try now. I actually enjoy it. You know, just like going back to what Zabari was saying,
Mhm.
because I grew up in Detroit. You get what I'm saying, and I also wanted to change my community in a way. So, you know, being out here working and, you know, especially around the guys that I work with too, these guys is like a family to me. You know, I actually spend more time with them than I spend at home. So,
Huh.
Yeah, it's most definitely it's a great job. I feel like a lot of people should give it a try.
The family aspect is coming up quite a bit. And it sounds like both DTE and consumers are very family focused. I think that's wonderful. And it goes to that sense of purpose and belonging. And that's something we try and foster within Jobs for Michigan's graduates. You need to feel that sense of purpose and belonging. And I think all of you young men definitely are on great paths to, hopefully you're feeling it through JMG, Lewis, hopefully you felt it through JMG, and hopefully you will continue to feel it. We're going to be close to wrapping up, but I did want to ask at least one more question if we have time for more. Lovely. So one of our attendees said, all of you are on amazing career pathways. Is there anything you would have done sooner or differently that would have given you more of an advantage? And the reason I wanted to ask this is you guys are already light years ahead in your maturity than most folks your age. But if you had been given a different advantage, is there something you would have done different? And whoever wishes to jump in is good with me.
I'll start that off again because you know how I like to talk.
We love to hear from you.
Thank you. Me, I wouldn't necessarily say I'd do something different, but I feel like if I educated myself more on like I said, open my mind up to different things and not just been because like I said, I was doing construction with my pops at a young age. And the whole reason why I wanted to be an architect is because my dad, he owed child support, so he wasn't able to get his full license. Like he had his own business, but it was like the neighborhood friendly handyman. So I always wanted to expand that and have our names on buildings and just opening it up to the community, letting them know that there is a way you can get there. So back point, and I'm gonna say it straight to it. Like me, I grew up very, very fast. So it's not really too many years that I missed out on learning. So starting right now is giving me the higher advantage. But if I started when I was in the 9th grade, I believe I would have been way farther right about now. It's my 11th grade year, and I did the program last year, but I feel like if I did it sooner, I'd be a lot farther ahead.
So
But
the
I just
value of learning about careers earlier.
Yeah,
That's important.
everything that I learned and how I learned it. So
Idris?
To pick up on what he said, if I would have had knew this sooner, I probably would have been online trying to find jobs or find jobs or try and find people that's more interested in a job like I am, and watch videos of how I can do better, how I can get more into it. And it's just, right now I'm having a lot more experience. Like, I really like the experience that I'm having right now. But if I was experienced just a little bit sooner, like in 8th grade, I think I would be farther ahead than I am now. I would be more on top of my experience right now. So
Okay, great. So Lewis, we do have a question in the chat. you went through the Henry Ford College Powers and Trades Pathways program, and that, if I'm right, helped you stack credentials. Can you tell us a bit more about the program you went through?
Yes. During the time I was going to Henry Ford, I was doing the program and also doing the internship through DTE.
Okay.
Through the program, they pretty much they taught classes and teaching us how to read blueprints and giving us an idea on what we will be doing in the field, as far as if I went inside the gas industry or the electric industry. So it pretty much gave me that experience before me actually entering the field. So gave me some hands-on experience as far as what a lot of the gas guys do. Pretty much, yeah. My internship, I was pretty much riding out with the guys, seeing what they do in the field. Pretty much exactly what I'm doing now. So it gave me an idea. I knew exactly, what I wanted to go into, and
that's great. So you were able to see both the gas side and the electrical side. And I think one of the consistent themes is the opportunity to explore early, the opportunity to experience early. And I think that's wonderful about our energy sector and many other industries. So I know, unfortunately, we are coming closer to the end of our time together. But I would like to, first of all, thank all three of our panelists for their stories, for their insights, for their being vulnerable and sharing with us some of the things that you've gone through in your life. The chatter continues to be in the background about how amazing and inspiring all three of you are. And I know there were questions we did not get to in the chat. Dr. Blue, we will follow up with you about workforce and the question that you posed. But I guess before we say our final goodbye, any other advice or any other thoughts that you want to share with the group? Louis, you're off mute right now, so I'll start with you. Any final comments?
No, not really. But like I was saying before, I would say most definitely give the energy field an opportunity. You get what I'm saying? I know most people don't know what they're gonna do. I say, get into it. Just see how it is. It's like I said, I didn't know what I was gonna do before, and it's been great. These guys are really family oriented. You learn a lot. Ain't everything repetitive, and learn something new every day.
Fantastic. Idris?
I'll pick up on what he says. Just try it out, because you never know what you might come to in the end. And if you have a goal to be a consumer of energy, do it. But if you don't like it in the end, have a plan B. You can be anything you want to be. Just try it out.
Great advice. And Zubari?
Me, I would say, coming from a tough background, I would say anything that you feel like is stopping you from something, you always look. Me, I have a set routine in the morning. So I prepare myself every day to come out in this world and show this face to where nobody can see what's going on the inside. I want them to see the great person that I am. I don't want them to see all the bad things that's going on in my life. So you just want to carry yourself in the right manner and just keep everything positive. Anything negative that you feel that is going on in your life, stop yourself and think about all the positive that has happened to you. Think about all the advantages you have over other people. So just explore your thoughts and sit down with yourself and just think with yourself, meditate a little bit, and then go into your focus or go into the job that you want. Because after you find yourself, that's what's next. That's the second step. Finding something you like to do, something that you're going to want to do for years.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I like to say.
That is such sage advice for every single person. And just again, so inspirational. So we hope that you've enjoyed this hour-long chat about careers in energy. Energy really is a growth sector in Michigan, and there's a ton of jobs. Please reach out to us if you want contacts at DTE and or Consumers Energy. And of course, we want to thank Consumers Energy. Their foundation is a sponsor, DTE is a sponsor, and as well as a whole host of others that you can find on our website. We truly appreciate their support, and we appreciate the participation of all of you. And we appreciate your specialists, which is what we call our teachers, who are there with you every day. And Louis, I know you're a graduate of the program, but you know the impact that Carolyn Miller made on your life. And I know that Deshaun and Daphne and a number of others are making on your lives, Idris and Zubari. So they have said it best. We're going to take their messages of positivity, exploration, do your best every day, find out what you want, be your true self. And I think that's the message we'll take into the rest of our days. Thank you so much, so much. Have a wonderful day, Louis, Zubari, Idris, and to everyone, thanks for joining us, and please keep in touch.